What if the loudest voice in the room isn't the strongest? Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the constant noise around you? In a world that never seems to stop talking, we often overlook a powerful force that's always available to us: silence. Our lives are filled with noise. From the moment we wake up, we're bombarded with sounds. The buzz of our phones, the chatter of coworkers, the hum of traffic, and the endless stream of information from our devices. It's a never-ending chorus of distractions that can leave us feeling drained and disconnected. But what if we told you that the real power lies in the spaces between all that noise? That's right, we're talking about silence. It might seem counterintuitive, but silence can be one of the most potent tools at our disposal. It's not just about the absence of sound, it's about creating space for something much more profound. In our modern world, we've become so accustomed to constant stimulation that silence can feel uncomfortable or even scary. We fill every moment with activity, conversation, or entertainment. But in doing so, we might be missing out on incredible opportunities for growth, understanding, and personal power. Think about it, when was the last time you sat in complete silence, free from distractions? If you're like most people, it's probably been a while. We've forgotten how to be still, how to listen to our own thoughts, and how to tap into the wisdom that comes from quiet reflection. But throughout history, many of the world's greatest leaders, thinkers, and artists have recognized the power of silence. They've used it to gain clarity, make important decisions, and tap into their creativity. These individuals understood that sometimes the most powerful statements are made without saying a word. Science backs this up too. Research has shown that periods of silence can benefit our brains in numerous ways. It can reduce stress, improve focus, and even promote the growth of new brain cells. When we give our minds a break from constant input, we allow them to process information more effectively and come up with innovative solutions to problems. Nature, too, has lessons to teach us about the power of silence. In the natural world, silence isn't just empty space, it's a vital part of the ecosystem. Many animals use silence as a survival strategy, whether they're hunting or avoiding predators. By observing nature, we can learn to appreciate the strength that comes from stillness. So how can we bring more silence into our lives? It doesn't have to be complicated. Start small by setting aside a few minutes each day for quiet reflection. Turn off your devices, find a peaceful spot, and just be. You might be surprised at what you discover when you give yourself permission to be silent. As you practice being quiet, you'll likely notice an improvement in your ability to listen. Not just to others, but to yourself as well. In silence, we can hear the subtle whispers of our intuition and the gentle nudges of our true desires. This enhanced listening skill can lead to deeper connections with others and a better understanding of our own needs and motivations. Silence can also be a powerful tool for self-discovery. In the quiet moments, we often uncover thoughts and feelings that we've been too busy to notice. These insights can be invaluable for personal growth and can help us align our actions with our values. When it comes to making decisions, silence can be your secret weapon. By taking time to reflect quietly on our options, we can cut through the noise of others' opinions and tap into our own wisdom. Some of the most important decisions in history have been made in moments of silent contemplation. Of course, embracing silence isn't always easy. Many of us have a fear of quiet, perhaps because we're afraid of what we might find when we're alone with our thoughts. But overcoming this fear can be incredibly rewarding. Start by acknowledging your discomfort and gently challenging yourself to sit with it. Over time, you'll likely find that silence becomes not just comfortable, but welcome. The beauty of silence is that its effects ripple outward. When we cultivate inner calm through quiet reflection, we bring that peace into our interactions with others. Imagine a world where more people took time for silence. It would likely be a calmer, more thoughtful place. As we wrap up, we encourage you to give silence a try. You don't need any special equipment or skills, just the willingness to be still and listen. The changes you experience might surprise you. You may find increased clarity, reduced stress, improved relationships, and a deeper connection to yourself and the world around you. Remember, true power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. And sometimes it says nothing at all. In a world that's constantly shouting for your attention, your ability to find strength in silence could be your greatest asset. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by the noise of life, take a moment to step back and embrace the quiet. Listen to the silence, and you might just hear the answers you've been searching for all along. Now, let's dive deeper into each aspect of silence and its power in our lives. The noise of modern life is something we've all become accustomed to, but rarely do we stop to consider its impact. From the moment we wake up to the buzz of an alarm, our days are filled with a cacophony of sounds. The ping of notifications, the drone of televisions, the chatter of colleagues, the roar of traffic, it's a constant assault on our senses. This endless noise isn't just annoying, it can have serious effects on our well-being. Studies have shown that constant exposure to noise can increase stress levels, disrupt sleep patterns, and even contribute to health issues like high blood pressure and heart disease. But beyond the physical toll, there's also a mental and emotional cost. The constant influx of information and stimulation can leave us feeling scattered and overwhelmed. We jump from task to task, our attention fractured by endless distractions. In this environment, it becomes increasingly difficult to focus, to think deeply, or to connect meaningfully with others or ourselves. But silence offers a powerful antidote to this modern malady. When we step away from the noise, even for a short time, we give our minds and bodies a chance to reset. In silence, we can find a sense of calm and clarity that's often elusive in our busy lives. Silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's a presence in itself. It's a space where we can hear our own thoughts, connect with our feelings, and tap into our inner wisdom. In a world that's constantly telling us what to think, how to feel, and what to do, silence gives us the opportunity to listen to our own voice. Throughout history, many great thinkers and leaders have recognized the power of silence. They've used it as a tool for reflection, problem-solving, and personal growth. These individuals understood that sometimes the most profound insights come not from external input, but from quiet contemplation. Consider how many groundbreaking ideas have come from moments of solitude and silence. From scientists pondering the mysteries of the universe to artists finding inspiration in quiet reflection, silence has been a catalyst for creativity and innovation throughout human history. But you don't have to be a world-changing genius to benefit from silence. Each of us can harness its power in our daily lives. When we make space for silence, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. The science behind silence is fascinating. Research has shown that periods of silence can have profound effects on our brains and bodies. When we're in a quiet environment, our brains aren't idle, they're actually quite active, but in a different way. During periods of silence, our brains engage in a process called default mode network activation. This is when our minds wander, make connections between ideas, and process information. It's in these quiet moments that we often have our most creative insights or find solutions to problems we've been struggling with. Silence has also been shown to reduce stress levels. In a noisy world, our bodies are often in a state of low-level stress, with elevated cortisol levels. But in silence, our stress hormones decrease, allowing our bodies and minds to relax and heal. Interestingly, silence can even promote the growth of new brain cells. A study on mice found that 2 hours of silence daily led to the development of new cells in the hippocampus, an area of the brain associated with memory, emotion, and learning. Nature provides us with some of the best examples of the power of silence. In the natural world, silence isn't empty, it's full of life and meaning. Many animals use silence as a crucial survival strategy, whether they're lying in wait for prey or trying to avoid becoming prey themselves. Think about the silence of a forest at night, or the quiet expanse of a desert. These environments aren't truly silent, they're filled with subtle sounds that we can only hear when we quiet ourselves and truly listen. In the same way, when we cultivate silence in our lives, we become attuned to the subtle but important signals that we might otherwise miss. So how can we bring more silence into our lives? In our noisy world, it might seem challenging, but there are many simple ways to incorporate quiet time into your day. One approach is to set aside dedicated time for silence each day. This could be as simple as waking up 15 minutes earlier and sitting quietly before starting your day. Or you might choose to take a silent walk during your lunch break, focusing on your surroundings rather than your thoughts. A digital detox can also be a powerful way to invite more silence into your life. Try turning off notifications on your phone or designating certain hours as device-free time. You might be surprised at how much mental space this creates. For a more immersive experience, you might consider attending a silent retreat. These can range from a few hours to several days and provide an opportunity to dive deep into the practice of silence. As you incorporate more silence into your life, you'll likely notice an improvement in your ability to listen, not just to others, but to yourself as well. In our noisy world, we often struggle to truly hear what others are saying. We're so busy formulating our response or thinking about what we'll say next that we miss the nuances of the conversation. Silence can help us become better listeners. When we're comfortable with quiet, we're more able to give others our full attention. We can listen not just to their words, but to the emotions and intentions behind them. This can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections with others. But perhaps even more importantly, silence allows us to listen to ourselves. In the quiet moments, we can hear the whispers of our intuition, the gentle nudges of our true desires. We can become aware of thoughts and feelings that we might have been too busy to notice before. This self-listening is a crucial part of self-discovery. In silence, we often uncover aspects of ourselves that we've overlooked or ignored. We might realize that we're not happy in our job, or that we've been neglecting an important relationship. Or we might discover a passion or talent that we never knew we had. These insights can be invaluable for personal growth. They can help us align our actions with our values, make decisions that are true to ourselves, and live more authentic, fulfilling lives. Silence can also be a powerful tool in decision-making. In our fast-paced world, we're often pressured to make quick decisions. But some of the most important choices in life benefit from quiet reflection. When we take time to sit with a decision in silence, we allow our minds to process all the available information. We can cut through the noise of others' opinions and tap into our own wisdom. We might realize that what seemed like the obvious choice isn't actually aligned with our values or long-term goals. Many great leaders throughout history have recognized the value of silent reflection in decision-making. They understood that sometimes the best course of action becomes clear only when we step back from the noise and listen to our inner voice. Of course, embracing silence isn't always easy. Many of us have a fear of quiet, perhaps because we're afraid of what we might find when we're alone with our thoughts. In our busy lives, silence can feel uncomfortable or even threatening. But overcoming this fear can be incredibly rewarding. Start by acknowledging your discomfort and gently challenging yourself to sit with it. You might start with just a few minutes of silence a day and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. Remember, the goal isn't to empty your mind completely. That's nearly impossible. Instead, try to observe your thoughts without judgment. Let them come and go, like clouds passing across the sky. Over time, you'll likely find that silence becomes not just comfortable, but welcome. The beauty of cultivating silence in your life is that its effects ripple outward. When we find inner calm through quiet reflection, we bring that peace into our interactions with others. We become more patient, more understanding, and better able to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Imagine a world where more people took time for silence. It would likely be a calmer, more thoughtful place. Conflicts might be resolved more peacefully, decisions might be made more wisely, and connections between people might be deeper and more meaningful. By cultivating silence in your own life, you're not just benefiting yourself, you're contributing to a more peaceful world. Your calm presence can have a positive impact on those around you, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond your immediate circle. As we conclude, we encourage you to give silence a try in your own life. You don't need any special equipment or skills, just the willingness to be still and listen. Start small, with just a few minutes a day, and see what changes you notice. You might find that you have more clarity of thought, that you're better able to focus, or that you're less reactive to stress. You might discover new insights about yourself or find solutions to problems that have been troubling you. You might even find that your relationships improve as you become a better listener and a calmer presence. Remember, true power doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes, it's found in the quietest moments. In a world that's constantly shouting for your attention, your ability to find strength in silence could be your greatest asset. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by the noise of life, take a moment to step back and find some quiet. Listen to the silence, and you might just hear the answers you've been searching for all along. In the stillness, you might discover a strength and wisdom you never knew you had. Silence is always there, waiting for us to tap into its power. It's a resource that's freely available to all of us, yet often overlooked. By learning to harness the power of silence, we can transform our lives and our world, one quiet moment at a time. As you move forward from here, carry with you the knowledge that silence is not empty, it's full of potential. It's a space where growth happens, where creativity flourishes, and where we can connect with our truest selves. In a world that values noise and constant activity, choosing silence can be a radical act of self-care and personal empowerment. So take a deep breath, find a quiet spot, and give yourself permission to be silent. Listen to the wisdom that emerges in the quiet. And remember, in the silence, you have all the power you need to create the life you desire.